So here unusually we've got two new build coach houses that were part of the planning application. Quite difficult to be able to seamlessly integrate that with the traditional older building. So how did you copy the profile and make it work so well?
What we initially decided to do was, you're quite right, the composition between the main house when it is extended, so we're adding nearly 40% onto the original main house, which is very much in keeping with the main house. To move to this separate building on the site was quite difficult architecturally, so what we decided to do, which is logical, is make it a very ancillary natured building, feel like a stable block or something of that nature. So this is what would have been an outbuilding to the main house originally. With regard to the detailing, we were quite keen here to just sprinkle a bit of the fact that this is of its time. So just utilise a lot of the textures and proportions, but just bring a slightly contemporary feel to some of the detailing. So the coach houses in themselves are just slightly simpler in the fenestration, but the composition and the gables, etc., are all referencing back to the main house.
Because you've also replicated this stonework that sits around the frames for the windows, and I know on the new build element of the conversion you've tried to emulate what you've got with the traditional building. Again, was that all part of the design process?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We took all templates from the main house for the extension, so they are identical copies, and here a lot of the proportions and scale were taken from the main house, but as I touched on, we were quite keen to just make it slightly more contemporary. So it was of the same family, but probably of a slightly newer time. And we're quite keen again to convey the fact that the extension is an extension. So it's part of the story of the site and story of the development.
And these are great, these individual builds. I love this outside space that you're going to have here, flowing in from the bedrooms onto your own private little terrace garden area. I just think it's such a nice touch.
Yeah, and we've got this woodland backdrop, and we're going to have this planted slope, quite a soft, gravelly area with some retaining, and then, as you say, we'll have doors out of both bedrooms from each, so out onto this space.
A lot of private space. All the ground floor apartments have their own private terrace.